Hello everybody and welcome to round 2 of the inaugural Tata Steel Chess Rapid and Blitz. We are here in Calcutta. If you've just joined, welcome. You've missed a fantastic first round, Tanya.
Absolutely insane. 145 moves between Rishi and Wesley that ended in a draw.
It was a draw. At one point Wesley was completely winning.
At one point he was probably completely losing.
And at one point for sure decisive result. Shak Mamajarov with a pretty convincing victory actually over Vidit, had a nice position, got a lot of initiative and converted. Nakamura Aronian was really a very, very dry game. Sarin Karyakin also a great result for the youngster.
Absolutely, it's a brilliant start for him. I think, first round going against Karyakin and holding him.
And Hari Krishna, also Ganguly, they keep their 100% draw record. They have now got over 14 draws in their personal head-to-head. Here are the games for round 2. We've got Ganguly against So, Karyakin against Anand. That's the matchup of the two world championship. One of them was a world champion and one fought for the world championship. Aronian, Sarin. We've got Vidit against Nakamura and Hari Krishna against Mamajarov. So
very interesting matchups, and we see the players taking their place. And this is the Satyajit Ray Auditorium at the Indian Council for Cultural Relation in Kolkata, a beautiful playing hall. There are a lot of visitors, young players. Now you have to understand, Lawrence, like Calcutta is a big chess city.
Yes.
This is India's chess hub.
Yes.
And there's a lot of interest here.
There is. We're getting huge numbers of people watching. Obviously, with the legend himself there, Vishy Anand being in the building helps. He's just been amazing for Indian chess.
And right in front of you are Carlsen's last two opponents.
Yes.
That is interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how, obviously these guys have played a lot against each other, but considering that today is also the World Championship match. It starts today evening, India time, 7 p.m. And these are the guys who challenged him previously for the World Championship, and now they're fighting against each other.
They are. And remember guys, I just want to mention this. If you are going to be if you're going to binge on chess, as many people are over the next few weeks, you don't have to move a single centimeter. You'll be able to watch all of the action here on chess.com. We will have a number of top class hosts who are going to be commentating on the Fabiano Caruana versus Magnus Carlsen match. So you can just stay here all day. Forget your work, forget your studies. Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It's a chess day.
It's a chess month actually,
it's a chess
Lawrence.
month.
We've got the World Championship kicking off today. We've got the Tata Steel Chess Tournament, the first ever elite super tournament, Rapid and Blitz, happening on the Indian soil for the first time ever. We've got the Women World Cup going on.
We do, yeah.
Where Harika from India, India's only hope right now, is still in the run for the title. So Lots of chess going on. Lots
of chess. Chess overload. Well, round
no
2.
Such thing.
Round 2 about to kick off, and Shak Mamajarov already out in the lead alone. Lone lead already, because all of the other games were a draw. And as I said in the first round, if you've just joined, we are being as interactive as possible. Get yourselves on Twitch, twitch.tv/chess, and you'll be able to interact with me. I am watching the chat eagerly, and there is Twitter as well for the tournament. Hashtag TS Chess India.
Yes.
Hashtag TS Chess India. And of course you can follow me and Tanya directly on Twitter. I know Tanya would love to break the 20,000 follower mark. That's the next goal, right, Tanya?
I feel like you're following my followers more than I am. You know where I am.
I know exactly. I think you've got 18.9, but I need to double check.
Almost there.
Yeah. So follow Tanya, follow me. We'll be updating all of you via Twitter as well.
Yes, and send us your comments, your feedback, and everything about the tournament, your predictions, and we'll keep an eye out on that.
All right, and I believe we are just seconds away now. We will have the tournament organisers announce. And I think we're going to get a very bloody round. I don't know about you. I've got a feeling that this is going to be a round full of decisive results.
As commentators, that's exactly what we want and hope for before every game. It just makes our job easy, no?
You've actually got 19,000 followers, so you've gone up 100 since I last checked. Get Tanya to 20,000, guys, by the end of this tournament.
That's the only reason this tournament's happening.
Yes. All right, we are literally seconds away now. Look, deep in concentration, the players, of course, they are already thinking about what they're going to do. They've played against each other many, many times.
Yes.
And
it was, in fact, Vishy's last game, because of which the second round got a bit delayed, because that was a marathon game. Yeah. And it's going to be interesting to see how he and Wesley perform in this round too, because they must be exhausted.
They're going to be tired after that one. Rapid and Blitz has a different kind of dynamic to it, but in many ways you get more tired because you haven't got that time to think about a position, and you're acting more on nerves and instinct and intuition, and that takes energy from you. So I'll be curious to see how Vishy plays against Sergey. I'm not expecting fireworks in the opening here.
And
that's one thing.
That's also the reigning Rapid World Champion against a former Blitz World Champion.
Yeah, yes, indeed. And off they go. 1e4 by Sergey Karyakin and 1e5 to be expected here by Vishy, playing very solid. Knight f3, knight c6, and bishop c4. Another Italian game, as we said in the first round, Tanya. Italian game almost taken over as the main line now in against 1e5, and a very classical Italian game.
So I'm just going to put in the moves. So we've got an Italian on this board. Let's see what is the opening that's happening on the other boards, Lawrence, quickly.
Yeah, let's do that.
So Hari versus Mamedyarov, and these two also have been playing for a long time. I remember them playing in Nakhichevan in Azerbaijan in the World Junior Championship back in 2001. So because they're the same age group?
Correct. So in the Hare Krishna game, we have got a...
We do not have a live update on our board yet.
We'll get back to that shortly.
Yes. You know, it's interesting, Lawrence, what you said about the difference between Rapid and Blitz as well, because Rapid is also a more complicated format because it's neither classical nor is it Blitz, and you're kind of trying to understand how to handle your time better. Also, these players have massive experience in Blitz, but we don't have as many Rapid tournaments.
Right.
And now Rapid and Blitz is such it's a proper official format.
Right.
Of chess.
Indeed.
So.
Well, it's good to see it because I'm a big fan of it, and we're going to come back to
That's interesting. So let's see what happened on Levon, Nihal, because I see is this?
This is a Schliemann.
A Schliemann? You don't get to see that often.
Well, a funny story here is that I actually played against the Schliemann for the first time ever, and I played exactly what Levon has played against Nihal Sarin. So that's really interesting. He played the line with d3. Perhaps we can because I think we should put f5 on the board because we don't often see this. This move here, f5, is a very, very rare defense, also called the Jaensich Gambit, and it's a way to counter-attack in the center, a bit like a reverse King's Gambit, if you will. And here, white has got many moves. You can play knight c3, that's a very well-known line. But here, Levon decides to play the quiet variation with d3, which is perfectly fine. And after pawn takes pawn, knight f6. In this position here, one very famous move is just to play the move queen to d... you can castle. Sorry, the move castles here is correct. And now after bishop c5, the move is to play queen to d3. This is
so not allowing short castle because of queen c4 check.
Correct, yeah. This is what Magnus Carlsen played, I believe, as well once. This isn't the only line, but I like this variation. I think black should be fine.
I actually think in this line, like this idea with queen e2 or queen d3 threatening queen c4 is a very typical idea because you're taking white is taking advantage of the fact that black went f5 early on, weakening this diagonal.
Yeah, and precisely, Tanya. And he's played bishop g5 here, Levon. Okay. So slightly unusual move here. Bishop to g5. Slightly unusual.
So white Could aim for knight c3, knight d5. And this is also a way to discourage black from playing bishop c5, perhaps.
Well, it certainly caught Nihal off guard because, you know...
Not just you, Nihal's having a think as well.
Yeah, I'm actually going to try and see how common bishop g5 is here. I'm equipped with some...
All right, while you have a check on what's going on with bishop g5, let's take a look at how it went with Karyakin and Vishy, the opening. So we again had an Italian.
Yep.
And no a4 on the board this time.
Indeed.
No.
Very, very standard Italian here.
Very
Black
standard.
has dropped the bishop back to a7. And we have a very, very quiet position here. By the way, the move bishop g5 in the Sarin game has been played before by a few grandmasters.
I'm going to jump back to this position.
Yeah. Then it was played by Jaensich against Rajabov back in 2009 in Linares. So not completely...
He has gone bishop c5.
And that's the move that Rajabov played as well. Playing bishop c5 before you play the move d6, putting the bishop on an active square. Levon's got to be a bit careful here. You can't let black get too active down this f-file. This could get very, very tricky.
So he goes knight c3, probably with the idea of knight d5, as we discussed.
Knight c3, we're still following that Jaensich game, and now Rajabov just played the move d6, not fearing knight d5, because why? Why are you not fearing? Maybe
can you take bishop f2 and knight e4?
You probably can. You probably can.
Is that a possibility?
Ooh.
Because king f2 runs into knight e4, but maybe you can just move your king. But let's just show this, and then you just win the piece back.
But then c7 hangs at the end, right?
That is right. But I'll
then
probably have queen e3. I mean, it's not over because
no, it's
you know
not.
it's okay. Just for this is a very interesting line. Let's just take a look because. And this is not going, maybe not here because of queen d6, but let's say knight c7, king somewhere. And the point is that I've got queen e3 and rook f8.
Yeah, and that's mate.
So it's, yeah, this is not going to happen. But I'm wondering after bishop, so this was all our imagination. So not knight d5 perhaps because of bishop f2. Or is bishop f2 king f1 possible? Because these things are sometimes tricky as well.
Yeah, but maybe after king f1.
Yes. Oh, maybe you have knight d5. No, then you take e d5.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Indeed. Very, very, very unclear. But let's come back to this game in a short while. Okay. I believe we actually have a photo of these two playing a bit of blitz.
That's them.
A couple of weeks ago, Tanya, in the Isle of Man.
We were there as well.
We were there. So Lev was trying to feel out his opponent, his young opponent, try and get an idea of where his strengths and weaknesses are. Very, very good preparation, in my opinion, by Levon. And what we're going to do is...
I was at the Blitz tournament in the Isle of Man, recently concluded.
Indeed. And... we've got the Vidit game here as well against Hikaru Nakamura. And very, very interesting opening here. We've got a very unbalanced, what looks like a Queen's Gambit declined that has got into a kind of stonewall formation where this bishop on c8 really suffers to get in the game. White has got a nice space advantage. And I always like white in these positions, but I know some sick people like playing black here. I guess you're one of those sick people, Tanya.
I've never played the stonewall thing.
Okay.
But it is becoming quite popular because even though black has this glaring weakness, it's somehow really hard for white to break off in. And sometimes black can even start with a kingside offensive, and there are different plans with the bishop coming into play like this. So it's... it looks ugly, but people are playing it. And we've got this interesting position. Vidit had a bit of a disastrous first round, I would say.
He really did.
It's not just about losing the game. It just seemed like he never had a game in it.
No, he was always on the back foot, wasn't he?
Yes.
From the first moment. And what happened here? We've got a few moves, and here we are. Vidit Gujarati from. Actually, where is he from in India again?
He's from Nasik in India.
From Nasik, yes. And Vidit
You've got some stats up for him.
Yeah, he's a young man, 24 years of age. Really made a huge leap in the past couple of years. His rapid rating is also very high, 2760. That actually puts him at, well, one of the top players, certainly top 20 in the world. A number of career highlights there. He won the 2018 Challengers as well, and that means that next year he's going to be playing the big boys over in Vaikanze, yeah, which of course is the sister tournament here. For all of you guys who don't know, Tata Steel, the Tata Steel Vaikanze Masters takes place in Holland in January, and Magnus often plays Kayakin and
all these top guys.
You've played there many times, haven't you?
I've played when they had a C group as well, so
Right.
they had 3 groups at that time, and I played 2 years there.
Yeah.
I missed my Grandmaster norm the first year I played there. It was a very memorable tournament. It's fantastically organized, and it's amazing that they brought it to India now.
It's a bit warmer in Holland than it is in India.
Just a tiny bit.
Just a tad warmer on the sea, on the shore of Vaikanze.
Yes.
No, it's bring your coat if you go in. But I do recommend everybody.
We probably have as many people here in this playing venue right now as many as they have in the entire Vaikanze.
That's true. It's a small place, but I really, if you love chess and you love the community feel of chess, then I suggest everybody get yourself over to Vaikanze, because it really is a special place. And you know, we're talking about a tournament, the Wimbledon of chess, really, the tournament that's been around for many decades.
Yes.
So, all right, so let's look at the position. What has actually happened on the board? All right, so
White has placed both his knights in the ideal positions, honestly, in this opening, where both of them are eyeing the e5 square and the f4 square. It looks really pleasant for White right now. So Black wants to go bishop e8 probably at some point and transfer this bishop here. Let's also take a look at how
let's go to another
Harry.
game. We'll check out Harry's game as well, if you bear with us just for a second. And Harry is playing Shaq, the current leader of the tournament. And we've got a really
Interesting position.
super interesting position.
I'm just going to start from the top and see how they got here. Really quick through the opening. So it was a Caro-Kann.
Yep. A Caro-Kann, very, very popular opening at the moment, d4, d5, and e5, which really has become the main line against the Caro-Kann. Bishop f5, knight f3, e6, and bishop e2, the so-called short variation, named after current FIDE vice president, Nigel Short. And we get a very interesting dynamic in the center here with these pawns, a bunch of exchanges, where White is actually a pawn up, but he can't completely hold on to the e5 pawn. So, and queen b8, and knight d2. So
Probably time to take on e5 now.
time to take on e5, but the question is how? How do we take? Because there is merits taking with the c knight, because you cover the f4 square. Because if you go knight g takes e5, sometimes bishop f4 works, although here it doesn't.
Because of knight f3 check.
Correct. And
Both players have pretty much blitzed out their moves until now. And now, he didn't take the pawn, in fact. He went for rook d8. So stopping knight c4. And he's probably not that afraid of White defending this pawn.
no, he's not afraid of it. In
Because
fact,
you've got knight d4.
That's the move he wants to see. Yeah, knight d4 looks strong. There are a bunch of moves there.
So you're threatening knight c2, you're threatening bishop c5, and he has gone f4, and he's played it pretty instantly. This is very interesting. I like this. I really like it. Because this could get messy really quick.
It could. And this is right up Shaq's alley, I have to say. And it's up Harry's alley as well. Harry and Sally and Shaq and everybody else. I mean...
Is he going to go knight d4 now? Is that the way to play?
Knight d4
it looks very natural.
Yeah, it does.
Because you can't go b4 with knight c2 coming in. I
like
don't want to take bishop d4. It just looks so ugly.
I like knight d4 a lot. What else can you do? Can you play a move like...
And Harry played f4 really quick. I mean,
quick.
He's probably still in his prep, I would say. Because f4 is not the kind of move you make so quickly if you don't know it's right.
I mean...
He's gone knight b4.
b4 also makes
very interesting, but
lots of sense.
So he has the same threat.
Knight c2 is a huge threat. And if knight c2 is a huge threat, then how do you defend against it?
So you go rook c1 runs into knight d3.
How do you actually defend against knight c2?
I still don't understand why knight d4 wasn't played.
Very interesting. But you know, these are the sorts of positions that you would really take here with black in a rapid game.
You know, Lawrence, maybe this was the point. Maybe after, knight b4. I don't know what. I don't have a point after why knight d4 wasn't played. I was thinking maybe knight c4, but it's not great. So this is what I had in mind. Just humor me for a minute. If knight d4, I was thinking that perhaps this was a possibility, and knight f3 to just give this queen up and to play for compensation. Put your knight on d6 and make it look really pretty. But then after knight c4, perhaps I had knight c2 as well, and so I don't think this was the problem. You know?
Yeah, and Harry has gone rook c1, which is
a very natural move as well.
Yeah, this is the move you play when you don't want to make too much of a mess of things.
I'm expecting knight d3.
Yes. There was an interesting comment in the chat here from Joey JRPG who says, can someone explain why they use timers in professional games? Well, they need to use timers. There are three general formats of chess. There's blitz chess, which is 5 minutes and under, rapid chess, which is what we're seeing here, which is 25 minutes, and then there is classical chess, which can be many hours. And you really need to use timers, otherwise the games can just go on forever. And rapid chess has a different dynamic to it because 25 minutes is not actually that much time. A lot of people in chat probably might think that 25 minutes is a lot of time.
It's really not.
It's nothing. At this level, when you have to calculate and analyze so many different positions.
It's very difficult. All right, let's take a look at what's happened on the other boards.
Let's go back to Nihal's game.
All right, Nihal. I'm just going to pull it up. It's right here.
Okay, so what happened? Bishop G.
So we had something that we were predicting.
We had this position.
So we had bishop c5, and he went knight c3 and d6 and knight d5. And you were looking at bishop f2 variations here. So we have this on the board. Nihal is thinking, because he has this option of bishop f2, which is, and he's looking at his opponent right now. I mean, look at that kid.
I mean,
the only real experience he's had in this entire field is his game against Wesley at the recent Isle of Man, where he in fact drew. He's never played any of these guys in at least a recorded game. He's played them on chess.com, on just blitz and practice bullet matches. But it's incredible. Just look at that confidence level.
It's the concentration as well. And Levon doesn't look particularly confident here, does he, Tanya? I mean, his body language is saying, oh, have I let bishop f2 go?
I mean, I'm sure he kind of knows what he's doing, because bishop f2 is a very simple trick. He knows that it probably doesn't work. You don't just play knight b5.
Why doesn't it work?
That's another question. Okay.
Why doesn't it work?
Let's see what's going on. So what were we thinking? King f2 runs into knight e4, and we were sure we kind of liked that for black, right?
Well, we're not. We said we like it, but maybe it's not that clear because we didn't even analyze. We only analyzed king g1 in that variation. Maybe white can go king e1 or something.
So he hasn't gone bishop f2. And that's interesting.
What did he play?
He just, I'm trying to see because I don't have the move right now with me.
He went bishop e6?
Yes, he did.
Okay.
So, but let's just go back, Lawrence, and see what was, because that was a very interesting position.
Important moment.
All right, so bishop f2. The thing is, if you move your king, I can at least just come back with my bishop.
Exactly.
And so that's not the problem. So we have to check this line.
Correct.
And knight e4 has to be played. So king g1 does not work.
Well, it might work, but...
we briefly had a look, and I like the idea of going king e1 here, as you suggested.
But then knight g5 takes...
Probably must take. I mean, I can go knight c7 here, but...
No, there's queen a5 at the end.
That's right.
King d7.
Let's say king d7, and you take this rook. And now what's going on here? So I don't have that attack anymore.
No, but you have queen h4 check, and if g3...
But I can just move my king, right?
Can you? Is it
let's say I come to
okay, queen b4 check. I'm going to pick off your little bishop on b5, Tanya.
That is right. I should have probably included bishop c6 somewhere, but okay, let's see this.
I'm not even sure you can.
No, before I get knight c7, I can.
Oh, okay. But then you allowed the bishop to come to a6, and that looks like just checkmate in a lot of positions.
Okay, so let's see this position, queen h4, right?
Yep.
All right, let's just go on with this line. What's going on here? So I come back, you give check, I give check. And now what?
And now...
I think you have to go d8.
Yeah.
You don't have an option because e8, king e8 runs into knight c7, king e7 runs into queen g7, right?
Yep.
Okay, queen g5 and it's... No, you have knight e7, so it's not...
You can go queen g7
yeah,
anyway.
I just take immediately.
And queen c7 is very, very unclear, isn't it? Maybe this is...
Maybe this is the reason.
Yep.
Because Nihal did have a think and decided to not go for bishop f2, which was very tempting, but it just doesn't work. Instead, he went bishop e6. Bishop f6, and we've got this position on the board. I believe Nihal's made his move already here.
Yeah, bishop f6, gf6.
Right. And
no, it's on.
it's Levon.
It's on Levon. Who's probably going to play c3, which is the most natural move in the world here.
c3 or queen d2, I think, or it could be changed. The move order of that could be anything. You could go queen d2 first or c3 first.
But Nihal doesn't look particularly phased. He's looking up in the sky, but people are asking, why is he looking in the sky? He's not looking in the sky. He's looking at the digital screens behind him because, like Nihal and many people of his generation, they spend so much time on the computer looking at positions. Sometimes they find it easier to calculate looking at a 2D board. I know I certainly do. Tanya, in Isle of Man just a few weeks ago where we both played, I can't look at the 3D pieces anymore. I'm doing this all the time.
But that's also because your position was so bad every time that you just did not feel like looking at the board. Don't worry, I was in the same boat in that tournament. So the thing about Nihal is, right?
But maybe my position wouldn't have been bad if I played 2D.
Yes, maybe.
You know?
Maybe you need to look at your board more often. Right. Now the thing about Nihal is that he is the kind, he's actually known as the boy who never sits on his board. Right. He always makes his move, and if you see him in a classical tournament, he's always walking around and having a look at everyone else's board. But here, because the time control is so short, so he's just
approve
chilling.
Of what you just said, by the way, Tanya.
What?
They approve of.
They agree with me.
Yeah, they
that
agree
you need
with
to
you.
look at your board more often.
Yeah, that I need to play better moves. Yeah, Nihal is, but he's concentrated in his own way. He loves chess.
Oh, he does. And it's really, really interesting how the kind of training this kid has had in chess, because it's been so unlike the traditional way of making a talent into a strong player. There was this brilliant interview of his in Scroll, one of the websites which I read, where they spoke about how this kid has actually grown and become this super strong player just purely playing Blitz on chess.com. He has over 15,000 games that he's played.
Yeah.
His way of improving is that if he wants to study a line, he just goes online and plays a number of games on it. If he has an idea, he just tries it out online. And he's not that, he's not spending hours solving a position or analyzing games, which is how all of us have grown up.
That's true.
And how we normally train. So he's special like that.
Let's go to another game, Tanya. Let's go to Ganguly against Wesley So.
All right, that's him.
And here we've got a really interesting position. We'll just stay here at the moment. And it's my understanding that in this position here that Black has got a very interesting opportunity to throw in a bit of a spanner in the works and play the move knight d4. What do you think of that move? Knight to d4 here.
That's very interesting. So let's see. So you're threatening my queen and you're threatening knight c2, but you're also letting the e5 pawn hang, but I can't take that right now.
No, you can't take my pawn. You've got to do something about this
I like playing knight d4 right now.
Okay.
Why can't I just play knight d4? You capture back, right? Because
Correct.
you've got to do that. And I just go rook a d1.
And you just think,
I think you just lost.
well,
Okay, maybe. Yeah, I think this is really bad for Black.
does look bad unless we're missing something here.
Did he? Yeah. Okay. So we've.
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
This looks bad.
This
Yeah?
doesn't look. This doesn't look any good.
So probably knight d4 does not work. And what is he going to play? What about something normal? But normal is what here? Because you're coming rook d1, right? So I can't. Let's just show this that you can't capture on e4 right now because of the same problem.
Yeah.
Of rook d1 and queen c4. You just trade and your knight hangs. So what is Wesley's move here, Lawrence?
Do you know what? I really don't know. Rook a d1 is such a simple threat.
Do you want to just move back with your queen?
Not really, because let's say I go queen d7.
I think I still want to play rook.
I play
d1.
rook a d1. You then have to put your queen somewhere else.
I mean, I'm not sure if this is so bad.
Right. That's
Because
true.
if you trade, I know my pawns look ugly, but I do control some very important squares.
That's true. That is very true.
So it's going to be interesting to see what Wesley does with this threat of rook a d1 and how he reacts. Because also, you can't take on b4 right now. Let's not forget even that's hanging. It probably still runs into rook a d1.
Right.
It does it because... this is interesting.
And then
this
he's got
is
knight
very,
queen c2, right?
This is very interesting.
Yeah, this is the way, isn't it? He didn't do it. He didn't do it.
Yeah, because this knight gets trapped in the end, doesn't it? And rook e2.
Knight a3.
No, it doesn't.
Doesn't get trapped. e5 hangs. It gets a bit messy.
Yeah, he decided to not go for this. Yeah, because probably knight e5 here is just so much more simpler.
Yeah.
But then queen here, it's not simple. Nothing. Chess is not simple. Nothing simple.
Yeah, this is a bit messy.
All right, so what did he decide to play here instead?
So he played rook fd8.
Right. And he's not worried about rook d1 because he wants to go queen c4,
I
the only
guess.
move.
The only move, yeah.
But this pawn, what about...
Pawn
Okay,
is...
that's interesting. Because how do I... Let's say I'm greedy. I'm greedy
Yeah.
for this pawn. I want
Are
to
you,
go for
are you
it.
saying that in general, or are you just saying...
In general, you know,
Okay.
I'm just going to put it out there. But it probably doesn't work because of this.
Right. Why doesn't it work?
I thought I could just take.
You can.
You have e5.
I'm going to take on e5. You take everything, bishop f6. Still black might have a little something here.
Wow, that's a long way from what the position is right now.
But
It looks like a forced line now,
Yeah, it
if
looks
rook d1
forced.
happens. Guys, I don't see a move besides queen c4 here. I don't think do you want to take? Maybe you can take here. Maybe that's the point. I could take on a4. Yeah, this could be interesting.
Taking on a4, right. This is what happened. Okay.
Is this on the board already, yeah?
I believe so.
No, we don't have an update of moves at the moment. No, we don't have that on the board yet. So
do we not?
So Surya's still thinking
No,
after
still
rook d8.
Right.
What does he want to do?
That's true. All right, let's go to another game, Tanya.
All right. What do you want to look at? What do you want to look at?
Let's go back to Harry. Kayak in Anand is very dry. Nothing going on there.
All right. I'm at Hari Shak.
Yes.
Mamajaro. So we still... And he's gone knight d3 as we predicted, Lawrence.
Yes.
Which was... Oh, he hasn't.
No.
As we predicted.
He went... No, rook c1, he went b...
He went b6. Wow, this was...
A lovely little double pawn sacrifice. So what's the idea here? After b6, if you take it... Why can't you take it?
Why can't you take on b6?
Yeah.
Because that's what black wants, right? Because he opens up the a file then, right?
No, I understand.
Maybe I mean, he had these interesting options like bishop f3 as well, which we need to look at after b6.
Right. Well, he didn't do that,
No.
did he? So what did he do? He played c6. This is a very interesting, pragmatic decision.
And this is what I was saying. And now knight c6 and bishop f3.
Yeah, and you gain a bit of momentum here with white. Bishop f3, queen b7, and now knight b5. And suddenly, from black being the one on the front foot, it's white.
With the initiative.
With the initiative, yeah. People often ask what the initiative is in chess. They've heard the term a lot.
What is it?
Well, for me, the way I describe the initiative is simply the side which is in control of the pace and tempo of the game. So it's the one whose side that is really calling the shots, the side making active threats, and the opponent having to respond to your moves rather than you having to respond to your opponent's moves.
Right, and many times we see a lot of players even giving up material for the initiative.
Well, that's what just happened here. He gave up the pawn on c5.
He gave up the pawn back. Yes, he gave the pawn back. That's right.
So I do like to play with the initiative, Tanya. It's not... You're
I like
solid.
my pieces and my pawns.
Yeah, you just...
I like the initiative and I don't have to give up anything for it.
So what you're saying is you like to have
everything.
Your cake and eat it all.
Yes.
Right. Yeah, I'm the opposite to you. We've got two completely conflicting styles.
You give up the pieces and the pawns and don't get the initiative.
That's right. Think I got the initiative and then realise...
It's not there.
Where's my compensation? But this position here that Harry has got is actually... You know, I'm starting to like white, actually.
Yeah?
Oh, this bishop on f3 is gorgeous.
I do too. I agree with you.
This bishop on f3 is gorgeous. A move like queen a4 now would be like the most obvious move on the board. Connecting the rooks, putting additional pressure on c6. Maybe even moves like knight takes a7 would be in the air after queen a4. Getting off the d line. I mean, queen a4 is just the move here. Absolutely, has to be. Getting the queen to a better position. And here is a little bio about Shahryar Mamajarov from Azerbaijan. And he is in my age group. He's somebody I've played in the World Junior Championships, believe it or not. I've played both Hari Krishna and Mamajarov in the same tournament in the World Juniors.
These two have also played in the World Junior
Championships. Yeah, it was
Championship.
probably the same time. He's 33 years old. Currently number 3 in the world classical, 4 in the world rapid. Amazing biography, won Shankir chess, and really this year was this actually past year and a half has been his breakout years.
Yes.
Yeah, and he was so close this year to actually being the man who would now be in London fighting against Magnus Carlsen, but came up just a bit short. To not win the candidates, but he'll be back because he's really managed to consolidate. He was always a genius and fantastic player, but past couple of years somehow he's become more rounded. He's also a father now.
Yes, and I think what you were saying about him consolidating his style of play, that is so true, because he's always been this very aggressive, very attacking, and people would not normally relate him to be a technical and a very strong strategic player. But I think he's really incorporated that style of play as well in the last couple of years, and that's why he's made this massive jump into the 2800 club.
Yeah. So
he had a brilliant Bale tournament.
Yeah, he won Bale as well.
He beat Magnus there.
Yeah, he
won. In a really brutal manner as well. All right, so the position, Hari's still having a think here. We've got Rook C8 on the board. He hasn't gone Queen A4 yet.
Yeah.
So what do you...
Well, I guess he's just... I guess he hasn't gone Queen A4 because there's one move that I would be not concerned about here.
Is it Rook D3? I'm just thinking,
Rook D3.
What do you have in mind for this?
I mean, also just Knight H4, right? That's the first move that you really look at. Just hitting that bishop.
Okay, but we have something on the board.
We do have a move.
He's gone Knight to D4. All right. This also makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And he's gone Bishop C5, probably the only move here because, so Hari was just threatening to take on C6. This is pinned, you can't move the knight. He goes Bishop C5, he does a counter pin. So Knight C6 runs into Bishop E3 and he might take on C5, yeah?
He could very well take on C5 here.
Because I don't see another move actually. He does have Knight B3, but that looks like he's going to be under a lot of pins.
Yeah, I don't like Knight B3.
Okay, let's see what happens in this forced variation. So I go Knight C6 here.
Rook takes is the only move. Queen A4 again. Why isn't this great for white?
Queen A4, yeah?
Yeah, this just looks phenomenal for white.
Can I go Rook A6?
Ah, that's why it's not phenomenal for white. That's why it's, yeah, that's a tactical, yeah, that's
not nice, right?
That's not good. That's
but
not
let's
good.
just say that he does not go Queen A4, but then black should be fine. I mean, if you just take this, I do have a C5 weakness, but I think black should be doing okay here. I mean, it's opposite color bishops, and I've got the open D file. I've got better placed pieces. My knight can reroute itself. I don't really care that much about the C pawn.
I would be looking to put that knight on H4, wouldn't you?
Knight H4 as well as a threat. Yes, a very strong threat.
Yeah, I don't like this actually. I don't like this so much. So bishops, maybe Knight B3 is the move. Tanya, maybe.
So let's go back. So we've got Bishop C5 on the board. We had a look at the variation with Rook C5 and now Knight B3. When you look at such moves for the first time, you kind of hate them because you're just putting your queen directly on pin. Your bishop's already pinned. But yeah, maybe it is. Let's see what black can do here. Because you have threats, right? So he hasn't played either of these moves. We missed the third one, which is Knight F5.
That is
a very logical and a good alternative.
Yeah.
So I can't take on E3. I have to take back on F5.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
He's taken back and now Queen E1 just moving away from the pin. Alright, so it's important to point out that black cannot in fact go Knight F4. Well, mainly because of Bishop C6. Oh, it's not so clear. Alright guys, this is the line I'm looking at, Queen C6, and first I thought my knight is just hanging, but it's actually not because I have this move with me.
You do.
Alright, so we go back a bit. Knight F4 is not possible because of what? Can I just take on...
Knight F4, why?
I see why, I think. I take on C6?
Yeah.
Oh no, I can't. Because I thought Queen C6 and I have this intermezzo with Rook C5, but you're also threatening Queen G, giving Queen G to mate, which I should be really careful about. So
maybe Rook takes C5.
Queen G2. In the beginning, you mean?
Yeah, before.
No, but then I have Knight D3, right?
Okay, and if I just continue?
Continue with what? With what? Not so clear, yeah?
Yeah.
Mamedyarov is having a think here.
Yeah, it's not clear at all, is it? And Shaq's thinking about this because he's thinking, well, maybe this is a move here.
Also, the thing is, if he doesn't do something, white is just better here.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got a better pawn structure. He's got this monstrous bishop on f3. So black really has to do something drastic actually in this position. I don't think it's... But he's gone for queen a6, so knight f4 did not work.
All right, well, we're going to come back to this. Let's get back to the Aronian Nihal game. Nihal Sarin.
All right.
And we've got a crazy position.
God.
What is this?
What is going on here?
Well, the first thing you notice here with white is he's got a pawn on c6, which to the untrained eye looks like a kind of not important piece, but it's a super important piece.
It's my favorite piece in the position.
Is it your favorite piece ever?
But yeah, I mean,
it's mine.
Okay. A black pawn on c6.
Yeah. I wish I could get my pawns to c6. No, that pawn on c6
on move
is
15.
Cutting out that king from e8, ever sneaking over to the queen side. And now white is threatening a deadly queen h5 check. And here...
Queen h5, the knight is coming to f5.
This looks like...
so dangerous for black, and just for a pawn. All this initiation... And it's not even really a pawn, I mean...
Well, a pawn is a pawn, Tanya.
Yes, but this is... the initiative, as we were talking about, just looks so strong.
That's true. What did... the Nihal Sarin has just played queen e7, which looked like maybe one of the only moves, because...
You can't go shot castle because of queen g4 check, and you just drop the piece immediately. So he's gone queen e7. I mean, I don't know where this king is going. I think it has to stay in the center, in fact, Lawrence, because you don't want to go to the queen side because of threats along the b file.
Yeah. I mean, he's just trying to block queen h5 with queen f7, isn't
That's
he?
right.
That's his idea with queen e7. And, well, I mean, if there's anywhere that the black king's going to go, it's going to be on the king's side. And the thing that white has to be careful about is if black ever starts to advance that f-pawn, especially, for example, if black plays castles in f5.
No, I'm not going to let that happen. You're right.
You're not going to let that happen, but if you were to let that happen...
Yes.
I have to say, your top is wonderful, but it reminds me of a disco ball. And I would be dancing to the latest Bee Gees track. They're not even, I don't know why I said Bee Gees. Anyway, bad example. I'd be dancing to Saturday Night Fever if I got in castles and f5. That's what I'm trying to say. And
you wouldn't need, you're saying if I was in that same room, you wouldn't need any disco lights?
No, I wouldn't need any disco lights. I would just dance around that and just be happy.
Well, luckily,
he's not going to let that happen.
Luckily for you, that's not going to happen.
That's not going to happen.
Okay, let's say queen e7, knight f5, and you wanted to go queen f7, right? Because that's where you want your queen.
Yeah, if you go knight f5, I guess I have to go queen f7. And
yeah, maybe knight f5 is just letting you do what you want to do, and that's not a good idea. I was thinking if I have queen g4 here, that was my point. So he's gone queen g4 before knight f5, which also I like.
Queen g4 immediately, right?
Yes, right here. So we have this on the board.
Well, this is what we call a bind. A bind on the light squares. White has got complete control. Domination. And you're also hitting the bishop. So that's why black played bishop c5. And...
I see a forced draw. It's not going to happen, but I see
You see a forced draw? Do you actually? Or
so knight f5 and I just go knight g7 next. I mean, you should go queen f7
Why is that a forced draw?
Where are you running with your king? You might want to run king e7, king e7. So he's gone knight f5, which is logical. I think he's going to go queen f7. There's no better square than that. He's gone queen f7. And now is he going to go for knight g7 check? I think he has to, because, and he's gone knight g7 because otherwise black was threatening to play rook g8 already.
By the way, that was a little biography of Levon Aronian there, if anybody didn't know. One of the most decorated players of our generation.
Yes.
Great player. And
Okay,
knight
so-
f5. Okay.
So before he could have played rook g8, controlling all of white's attack. White has gone knight g7. Now where is he going to go with the king?
King e7, obviously.
King e7, and obviously you're allowing queen d7 with king f8.
Yeah. Queen d7, king f8, knight e6, king
g8,
g8.
and that's what you lose c7 with me.
And then it gets tricky because then
But this position is tricky.
yeah, it's extremely.
Let's take a look at this line. It's really interesting, and I want to play. But maybe this is fine for black, you know, because you take here and you go rook d8. What do you think, Lawrence?
Well, this is the position I was looking at, and black must be fine here.
Should be fine, yeah?
Yeah, well, in fact, black is better here. Because
no, come on. I
Why?
mean, it's just too much.
What
You
why?
can't say he's better here.
Why not?
Okay, what's your move?
I can say.
King f7. You can't take on d7 because.
All right, I'll go king f7. I
Okay.
got it.
You almost played it though, so
No,
I
I
have to
didn't.
show it.
I didn't
Okay.
almost do it. I like how I almost did it.
So
no,
you want to
I
go king
I
f7,
do.
right? Yeah,
Thank
this
you
is
very
correct. Yeah, and this here you should be fine. You're right.
much. Can somebody clip the "you're right"?
That
Clip
actually,
it, guys.
That did happen. Okay, so he's gone knight g7. He's still waiting. So you suggest king e7.
Yeah, well, you have to go king e7.
You know what? You're right, because if I go, for example, if black goes anywhere else, let's say king d8 or king f8,
Well,
I
king
mean, I
d8,
could.
knight e6 check looks very dangerous.
I mean, you still have king e8. It's not over.
No, but then you can start taking on c5, taking on a4, and my king is in the center. I've got weak pawns. Doesn't feel. No, king e7 is the right move. He's going to play king e7.
Really not sure, but let's see. All right, guys, what do you think? King e7 or king somewhere else?
Nihal giving him the stare.
Okay, wait. You can't take on d7 right now, right? So what if I'm a little tricky? He's gone king e7. He's played.
Of course he has.
Okay, I think. What would you do here now? Rook b1.
Well, what if I just play
I mean, maybe you
bishop
can
b6?
So we've got queen d7 on the board. We're doing well, Lawrence, and we've got
Nice.
this position.
Yep.
This has happened
Rook b1, bishop b6, and he just took on c5
without thinking.
Yeah, he just
Without
took on
thinking.
c5.
Okay, so you have to take back, because if you take my queen,
Yeah.
I take back with the knight.
Correct.
So we have dc5, and now what? What was the idea?
I don't know, but I don't believe White's got an advantage here.
He went knight c5 really quick.
Really quickly.
I mean,
It's kind of surprising.
I'm surprised because this is a bit of a, it's an important position here. Oh, you know what we probably are missing
What are we
is
missing?
that, I don't know, maybe if you play this, if I have queen c4 check,
Ooh.
but it's king g1.
Bishop takes f2 with an immediate draw.
Yeah, and that's probably what we missed.
Actually, that is an immediate draw if you want it. Maybe black wants more.
I mean, you also have another immediate draw with this, huh?
Yeah. That looks like a draw. So there's a lot of stuff going on.
Probably
here.
that's why he took on c5. So knight c7 was not a possibility. So knight c5.
dc5.
And now he played
rook
rook
d1.
d1.
Okay.
Keeping the
So
pressure.
now what do you
keeping the
do
pressure.
with black? So let's have a think here. I like h5, stopping queen g4 check and being able to activate my h8 rook. What do you think about that?
That's a logical move.
And also I can put the rook on h7 and put the rook on g7.
And the thing is, like, this gets me nowhere.
Yeah.
Because your king just comes...
Yeah.
I mean, black might be even
Black is better here.
doing
No,
really
black is better
well
here.
here.
Black is better here.
This is not what we want. h5, I like it. So let's see. Can I go rook d3 and force you to take on d7? Or maybe, you know what? I'll go h4.
All right.
Because I want to get my rook to h3.
I guess I have to go rook h7.
Okay, this is getting interesting now.
I mean, he's going to play h5.
I
I
think
mean-
if he plays h5, we'll also have h4.
I'm not sure. I think
No?
h4 is quite
Okay,
slow.
what do you think then here? What should...
Oh, we've got a draw, by the way, in Vidit against Nakamura. That was quite an interesting game, but somehow...
Let's quickly jump into the final position of that game
Yeah.
and see what was it.
some kind of perpetual here by black, giving checks against the white king.
So this is our first result of round 2.
Yeah.
We have a draw. Well, with it should be, you know, he had a tough first game, and it's kind of a nice way to come back. You just solidify your,
Yeah.
I don't know, your form.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go back to this Nihal position because it's so interesting. What did he do? Did he go h5?
I don't know what he's done yet.
Okay, so he's still having a think, while Nihal has a think. We also have another result. We have a draw on Karyakin Anand as well.
Yeah, Karyakin Anand was a non-event, actually, to be honest. This whole game was just quiet, Italian, nothing happened. We didn't look at it and we didn't miss anything. It was one of those games. So, okay, solid draw there. I think we should stay with this Nihal game. This is just incredibly interesting.
Okay, so Nihal's still having a think, and I just want to quickly check in with what is going on the Wesley board. Not much.
Not much at all. This is fine for Wesley. This is fine. No, this is looking equalish.
All right, so it's really not much. I mean,
The
like
Harry
black
Krishna
should be
game.
totally fine. Okay, let's quickly jump into that before Nihal. We do have a move on Nihal's board. We're going to get back to it. This is Hari's position. He went Queen A6 where we left. A lot has happened, and this is us up to date now. Okay.
C4. Oh, I was just going to say, why can't white just take that pawn?
Apparently he can.
And he did.
So what if I pin your knight? That's the first thing.
Yeah, rook d4.
And then are you going to go b3? You might have to go b3 here, yeah?
Yeah.
That looks about forced, no?
Yeah, b3, okay. Knight takes f4, queen b2, rook e4. Oof. Getting super complicated, this position.
Exactly how Shak likes it. The Shak attack.
He loves it. He loves the complications. Why can't you take on f4?
So we have that on the board. We have knight c4, rook d4, b3.
I guess he's going to take with the rook. Taking with the knight feels loose. I can't pinpoint why. It just feels loose.
You're right, he's gone rook f4.
Yeah.
Probably knight f4, queen e3, and it just looks like too many pieces are hanging.
So rook takes f4.
He needs to be careful about the back rank, but probably it's fine right now. Because also after something like this, your knight comes back to e6.
Exactly.
Which is a beautiful square for the knight. So can you go rook d1 here?
I don't know. Rook d1 looks completely natural to me, but I don't know what he's going to do.
He's gone for rook f4, and
interesting. Okay,
we've got this position.
Maybe because he wins f5. Is that possible?
So Hari is down to 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And Mamedyarov to 6.5.
Yeah.
That's a huge time advantage.
Yeah, that's huge. Queen f3 by Hari. And Shaq shaking his head.
Knight e6.
In disgust. Knight e6.
And he just wins
He's
the
just
f5
take
pawn.
A pawn.
He just lost a pawn.
He's just going to take a pawn. And
Shaq is not happy.
No,
he's
Shaq
not
is
happy.
Queen b5.
So.
Okay. I mean, how bad is this though?
It is a pawn. And now he's
black
got the
has
option.
Got a great knight, and this pawn on e5 is a consistent weakness. And how do you actually make use of these extra pawns? That's my question to you, Tanya.
Okay, so let's say, can he go rook f1 here?
You can do whatever you like. I'll just play rook c7.
Okay, so we have a move on the board. He's gone back queen d3.
Now I want to get some love for my king. That's my gut instinct here for black. He gives a check first. King will have to go somewhere.
I mean,
probably to h1.
King f1. He's thinking, but
now
king f1
I would go
looks
h6 or something. Or do I want to go with g6?
So Harry's thinking here. He can't be considering king f1.
He's certainly considering king
I mean,
f1.
yeah, but he's gone for it. He's gone for it.
Looks very dangerous.
Oh, you know, I mean, like we're just missing something. King h1 ran into queen e5, so he could not have gone king h1. In fact. Maybe amongst other things, but at least this is possible, yeah?
Wait. Is it possible? Just.
Okay. So he went
king
king
f... Maybe it's not actually. I don't know. But anyway, he went king f1. And now I would get some luft if I was black here with the king luft.
Yeah, because you
he
want
played
to also,
h6.
that makes a lot of sense because you want to free this knight as well.
Yep.
This could get very tricky with the king on f1,
yeah,
you know?
I'm not even sure I would take white in a real game here because my pieces are pinned, my king is weaker, black's pieces are very well coordinated. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just thinking, what is white's next move here? He's probably moved this rook because I don't like b4. I'm not sure why, but I feel it's just too many pins after queen b5, no?
Too many pins, you know what they say?
It's too many pins, spoils the...
Spoils the...
I don't know what they say. What do they say?
I don't know.
I don't think they say anything. They just say too many pins, don't do that.
Too many pins, don't do that. Oh, well, okay. Too many pins, too many sins. Maybe.
He's gone queen b5. He's gone queen b5 after we have something on the board. Just gonna... Yes, this is us up to date. Rook d1. And black went queen b5 anyway.
Yeah. I like black's position.
Yes, and white moves away from this dangerous f1 square.
King g1, queen c5, check, draw.
No,
right
now
position.
I can go to h1 because you don't have queen e5.
Ah, you're right. You are completely right. Let's go back to the Sarin game, no?
Yes, that was very interesting. Okay, I'm going to go back to where we left it because I want to see how... I see a pawn on h5. So we left it last around this time. So rook d1 and he went h5. You were right, Lawrence.
Yeah.
This happened. And rook h7.
There we go. Rook d5. Okay. Rook b8. Right.
Coming to b2.
Yeah, it looks completely natural. All of this looks completely standard.
Rook d1, bringing the rook into play.
7, okay.
He wants to get his king, so that makes sense. And he went king f7.
But he's going a bit passive here, Nihal.
So now he's threatening rook e6.
Rook h8.
And now what? So he's...
Well,
but
something
king
has,
g6,
something has
so
happened.
What? No, he could also come with the king to e6 and
he
d6.
Did.
Okay,
king
we
e6,
have moves.
rook takes h5, king d6.
That makes sense. But I have to say that this
Rook
looks like
c3,
the kind of
rook takes c6.
ending white's trying.
Takes. And yeah, actually, rook f5. This
Rook
is a
f5.
problem, right? Because actually, white's got this passed h pawn. This is actually a problem. Something went wrong for Nihal. Something went very wrong.
I mean, my king is also really active. He's gone rook h4. He's gone for the a pawn instead, but he's not going to win that a pawn. So I'm surprised at this move.
Rook h4 looks decent.
Okay, so for king b5, he wants to probably go rook b4 check and really trap that king in, and we don't want that because then this pawn is super strong.
Exactly.
So what you really don't want to do is something like this, where this king now will just advance with this pawn, and it's going to be really hard for you to stop it. So never fall into that. So after rook h4, we had a few moves. Or did we?
Okay.
So this is the position.
No, this looks with the... If white manages to get both a and h pawn...
This looks bad for black.
Yeah.
I mean, we're an extra pawn, a very healthy extra pawn. This pawn's going to make Black's life very difficult.
Yeah, I don't believe that Nihal's going to
survive this one.
survive,
Yeah?
no.
No, me neither. And the time situation as well. Nihal's down to 44 seconds, and Levon has over 3.5 minutes. I think Levon's going to take this back.
Yep.
Okay, what happened in the Hari Shak game finally?
The Hari Shak game.
So King G1 is where we left it. He went Knight C5, attacking the queen and the pawn. You can't take Knight B3 because of Rook D8 check here. So this was not hanging. We've got to show those checkmates. Instead, he went back. Oh wow, they've repeated, and then Hari declined the repetition with Queen F3. Very interesting. I think he still has to go back Knight E6. So you still can't take this because of Rook D8. It runs into... Maybe you can now, because you have Rook G6. So he has gone for Knight B3. We do have Knight B3 on the board. And did Hari miss something? What is his idea? Because there's so many tempting moves there. You've got the knight coming into D6. You've got Rook D8 check.
Yeah, I've always believed that. Yeah, I mean it's always been double-edged, isn't it? This position. Would you take white now, Tanya? Is that what you're saying?
Hari's down to 27 seconds, and so he's
so
gone
what if
Rook
you give
D8.
check?
That's what he's done, and we saw this position King H7.
Oh, Queen F5.
This is what we just had.
Rook
we were just
G6,
analyzing
Queen
this. And Rook
takes F7.
G6, and now you take here.
It's over.
So now you're threatening Queen G8. So I've got to give you it. Oh my God, what am I going to do?
Is it over? Maybe.
I mean, I can move my rook away at some point, but what's my move here? Okay, wait. Queen G8 is a mate threat. Let's say I give Queen C5 check.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Maybe I want to move right away. Rook G5. Okay, this is difficult to decide. Or Rook G5.
You can go.
This is weird because if I go Rook G5, you also have H4. I don't know what's my square for the rook.
What about Rook G4?
Then Queen F5, you have to come back Rook G6.
Okay.
And then I can pin it with Rook D6. And you kind of don't want that. So
You're
this
right.
is not a great square because you've got these ideas, you know?
I agree.
So what is it that he's going to do now? Okay, let's say Queen C. He's thinking. Wow, this is an incredible position.
Hari with only 30 seconds, but that's more than enough for Hari Krishna. I mean,
Hari is so good at calculation. He's a beast at calculation. If Black is not doing any, where are you moving your king, Lawrence? Okay, let's say you move it to H1. It's probably not the best square bit. I mean, how are you defending against this?
You don't defend.
My point is that after Rook G5, I want to go H4.
Okay. Yeah, this just looks over.
I have so many ideas. I mean, you have to. Is this not?
Shaq
working?
doesn't exactly look impressed, does he?
Is this not working?
It's all working.
Everything's working. I mean, you're just getting checkmated, right?
Yeah.
Like if you come here, I just
Queen
go check,
F7.
and Queen F3 is mate.
Rook back to C6.
All right,
check.
we're just gonna follow.
And that was enough. Shaq has resigned. Yeah, that was more than enough. A great victory for the local.
Amazing. So Queen F7. Let's just have the position on the board. He went Rook C6, Queen F5, and over. Because after you come back, I've got Rook D6, and we saw this position. This is over. Oh wow, what a victory for Hari Krishna.
Fantastic.
With the black pieces. Absolutely fantastic. And G6 runs into mate.
Yep.
He was down to 30 seconds, and
Incredible.
it was amazing.
Knight B3 seems to be the big blunder there by...
He had to go back 96.
Yeah, he couldn't take that pawn.
This was...
Allowed too much activity. So a good win there for Mr. Hari Krishna. And let's go back to the Sarin game, because that's been like one of our games of the round.
Yeah, but this looks just like a very sad position for black. I mean...
It looks very sad,
but Levon is loving it. He's just an extra pawn.
Oh, Levon has won actually.
Oh yeah, we do have a result. I'm going to just.
And Levon showing his calculation.
Let's just quickly go through how what technique he showed. So this was where we left it last, and he just simply pushes the pawns.
I like g4, by the way. That's really an important move to stop black ever playing f5 and getting a bit more control. g4 is very, very classy.
And now,
yep.
Now e4, and just pushes the pawn.
Yeah.
He's 2 pawns down. It was
Yep. Hopeless position. Hopeless rook endgame.
Yes, this is a disappointing result for Nihal, but
Yeah, and 3 pawns down against the world number 3.
no, these guys, I mean, this is over.
Yeah.
And he resigned here. All right, so what's left? So we've got 4 results. Just to recap, it was a draw between Vidit and Nakamura. Karyakin and Anand drew as well. Hari won a fantastic game against Shaq with the white pieces, but it was very, very complicated at some point. And yeah, Shaq seemed to have collapsed after that f5 pawn falling.
It was really that, yeah, taking on f5 and then knight b3 a combination, but he was very unhappy with how it went that game. And we've got 1 game left. Knight f1 on the board. These positions are always tricky. Look at this.
Oh wow!
Is Surya doing well here with this past d pawn, or am I just going mad?
You are going to lose this f3 pawn. I don't think I don't think white is doing great here, or white. I mean, I'm not really sure because I'm coming knight h2 or knight d2.
Yeah.
You have to like take on a3 to make any progress at some point. So he's taken on f5 first and taken on a3 now. And now he's going to go for this f3 pawn with like knight d2 or knight h2, right? So let's say I go knight d2. He's gone knight d2.
Yeah, maybe the black king is just too active.
We have this on the board right now. He hasn't captured back on f5 yet, but this is the position. He could play knight f3 as well. Yeah, I mean, I think this should be fine.
Should be okay, no?
I mean, black's king is close enough to the d pawn. He's gone for king f5. He's going to take on f3 next. That's what's happened.
King c5.
And e4.
Yeah, e4, knight d1 maybe.
e4, can you go?
Or d6 immediately.
d6. So I was thinking,
I mean, is it that simple?
So I was thinking this, but you have king d4.
What's that?
So we have e4 on the board. And is he going to go d6 now? It looks kind of forced not to go d6. I mean, not forced, but it looks logical. Yes, he's gone d6. Knight e5, we have that on the board. We're on track, Lawrence.
Wow.
So king d4, what are you going to play after
Why
king
king
d4?
d4?
Because I want to threaten knight e4. Oh, you mean yes, I want to threaten knight e4.
Well,
so he's gone king d4.
King d4 is good. But
what's your move now? You have to give a check. Or do you?
No.
No, this is not so easy. Maybe knight
e3.
Okay, this is nice. King e3 runs into this is
Very
good. This is important.
Very good.
This is important. Yes, this is probably going to be drawn. I think Levon missed e3.
Ganguly.
Oh, sorry, Ganguly missed e3.
Levon might have also missed e3, but a different game from a different
game, a different time, a different tournament.
There we go.
And we have a draw.
King takes e3 was going to run into knight c4 check, after which they would both be left with a knight, king and pawn each, with a very, very easy draw. So that completes the round. A bit bloodier than the first round. 2 decisive results, Tanya.
That's right.
Levon Aronian beating the youngster Nihal Sarin, and Hari Krishna beating Mamijarov. The rest of the games drawn. I was very impressed though by Nihal. I thought he played an excellent game. He lost the thread in the ending, but he was fine until then.
I mean, the game really it got messy very early on,
Yes.
so it was kind of hard to say where exactly he went wrong. But I thought he was under pressure from the beginning, and Lev played the ending perfectly.
Yeah.
After being that extra pawn up, he just finished it really quickly, and we've got the results in front of us. So Surya Wesley was a draw, as we just saw. Karyakin Vishy also drew. Levon beat Nihal. Vidit drew with Hikaru, and Pentala won a really nice game against Shaq. We've got another round coming up.
We do. It's not over, is it?
It's not over.
It's not over. We've got round 3 which will kick off relatively shortly. And we'll get the pairings up as soon as we can for that. And we're going to have 3 days of this. The next round is at 5:20 local time.
Right. So we've got a few minutes before that.
In fact, the time now, yes, indeed.
Got about 10 minutes before the start of the next round.
10, 12 minutes. We're going to take a very, very quick break, Tanya. Get refreshed.
Yes, and we'll see you in 12 minutes.
All right. See you soon, guys.